call it soccer, or do you call it football?
Really?
You're right, who gives a... It doesn't matter what you call it. 90 minutes is what matters. The odds matter. The next goal. The same game parlay. When you bet matters. Soccer or football? Move on. Because the beautiful game has a million shifting factors. Canada's premier betting destination for the world's game. Bet with Sports Interaction.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the DAZN Soccer Show, brought to you by Sports Interaction, Canada's betting destination for the world's game. And today, it is the biggest final in club football. It is UEFA Champions League. On one side, Paris Saint-Germain. They are the defending champions, looking to do what few teams have done before and go back-to-back with the title. But on the other side, there's an Arsenal squad that is still riding the high of winning their league title for the first time in 22 years. So who will be crowned the Kings of Europe? Yes, here we go, everybody. We are inside the Queen and Beaver Public House in Toronto, Ontario, and the place is absolutely packed. We are so excited for today. I'm your host, Andy Petrillo, but I first want to give just a shout out here. Arsenal fans in the house. PSG fans? Oh, that went quiet real quick. Uh-oh, outnumbered. Thank you so much. Most men hold purses. You hold my clipboard. Thank you so much. Doneil Henry, 44 appearances with Canada, former Canadian international. You have played in Nations League, CONCACAF Champions Cup, World Cup qualifiers. You are a three-time national champion with Toronto FC. Yes. It is so great to be doing this show with you. How you feeling?
Feeling great, Andy. It's good to see you again.
Yes.
Happy to be on the show, the DAZN Sports Interactions. Thank you for having me. I feel like I'm at home.
Yeah. Okay, I was going to say, let's get this out of the way right now. If anyone was wondering who Doneil's going for, you are a die-hard Arsenal fan.
I am a gunner.
You are a gunner for life. So you had to feel good when they lifted that league title.
Yeah, a lot of pressure off of our shoulders. I'm very excited, and now we're going in and we're playing against PSG today. I'm just happy for what it's going to look like.
We're going to dive more into this. We have 30 minutes to get into this game. We're going to have some fun. We're going to tell you the odds. We're going to test his knowledge as well as some fans' knowledge here on Champions League history. But before we get to that, as we know, there's a big tournament this summer right here on our home soil as well, the World Cup. Canada yesterday just revealed their roster. Their motto is 26 for 26, the 26-man roster. Bit of a dark cloud with a lot of injuries still, but there's a ton of positivity. Were any surprises, though, for you when it came to the roster reveal?
Yeah, I think Jesse's done a fantastic job since his change as taking charge of the national team. Very difficult for the players who have been left off. For me, selfishly, obviously, Junior is one of my best friends, and it would have been great to see him at 36 go to the World Cup and potentially retire. But for me, the only one that I see being snubbed is maybe a Jaden Nelson.
Yeah, I mean, you could always make a case for a lot of these players here, but we don't know. Canada does have two friendlies coming up in the month of June, and if certain players are not at the fitness level that Jesse Marsh thought they could be, he can still make changes. Remember, teams can actually make changes 24 hours before their first game. But, you know, keeping our fingers crossed, and best of luck to those players who do want to be match fit and they feel they can be, because there are some high expectations here for a home team especially. What do you think would be considered a reasonable expectation here for Canada, as, you know, they're back-to-back World Cup appearances for them? Last time got the first goal at a World Cup, but still no point and still no win.
This is a completely transformed team from the team that went to 2022 in Qatar. The expectation has to be getting out of the group stage. I don't think winning a game will be enough. I think that this team has experience, and we have to go and get out of the group stage.
Getting out of the group stage is really huge. Obviously, I think Jesse Marsh has also said they want to finish first. That's the thing in the group, because if you finish first in the group, he also gets to remain in Vancouver and reduce a lot of that traveling. Okay, I know you're ready for the World Cup, but you're also ready for this Champions League final between PSG and Arsenal. We want to make sure that you have the odds for tonight's match, brought to you by our friends at Sports Interaction. You can see the odds on your screen now, but make sure to take advantage of Sports Interaction's 2-up early payout. Place your bet before the game for a 2-up early payout. If your team goes up by 2 goals, this is pretty simple. Scan the QR code on your screen and bet with Sports Interaction. When you're 2 goals up, you're already a winner. But of course, you can always and must gamble responsibly. Now, we have a sports interaction VIP, Peter D'Souza, who's in the house. There you are. Get on up. Peter D'Souza, I want you to take us through the odds. You know this far better than me. So you got Arsenal at plus 195, PSG plus 138, and a draw, because yes, if this is a draw, it needs to go to extra time pens, plus 230. Who you taking? What you got?
I say Arsenal 1-0. It's going to be a tight game. It'll probably be the best like Champions League. It take 1-0.
Now, are you speaking from the heart, or are you speaking as someone who is like statistically looking at this?
Arsenal. Can't go against Arsenal. What's that?
That's what you're going with. 1-0?
Yeah, 1-0.
Okay, you heard it from a VIP from Sports Interaction there, Peter. Appreciate it. And I think we're going to check in with you throughout the show here as we get ready for Arsenal PSG. So he's making himself very comfortable behind us. But let's get to this. We do know that the teams have already been announced, the starting 11s here for today. Let's begin with Arsenal. And probably the biggest surprise would be up front here. Doneil Kai Havertz is getting the start over Gyökeres, who was their leading goal scorer all season long. Why do you think that decision was made?
I think it just has to be the fact that Kai has a little bit more Champions League experience, obviously scoring the goal for Chelsea when he won. I think that has to be it, but kudos to not Kai Havertz, but for Gyökeres, who came in his first season with Arsenal, put up 20 goals plus in his opening season, winning the league with Arsenal, of course, and yeah, he'll be definitely playing a part today. When he comes on, you can look for energy and goals.
Well, this team, as we know, they can score goals. I know there's been a lot of maybe they only do it on set pieces, but when you look at the league phase, they went a perfect 8-0, and they also outscored their opponents 23-4. So we know that Arsenal is a side that can find the back of the net. Let's take a look at PSG starting 11. A lot of concern when it came to Ousmane Dembele in that final game. He injured his calf, but he's been training, he's good to go, and he's in the starting 11. This means a lot.
Yeah, this is their main man. This is someone who has to play if PSG is going to win this game. You got to think, even if Dembele is at 70%, he's thinking in the back of his mind, am I going to be ready for the World Cup? But he has to only be thinking about this game. And if he can do that and perform well to get PSG's attacking power going, they have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, throughout the league, he was their second leading goal scorer with 10 goals in 22 matches. Both of these teams are entering this final on a complete high. As we know, you're an Arsenal fan, so you know this. Your first league title in 22 years. For PSG, it's their fifth title in a row. I'm actually going to give you a bit of a trivia question right now. There was a team that interrupted their run. That was Lille. Who was the Canadian on that team?
Jonathan David, the Iceman.
Okay, I gave you an easy one right out of the gate. But is this the perfect final, given both of these teams coming off great league seasons?
Yeah, amazing seasons. Like I said, Arsenal winning it for the first time in 22 years. PSG going back-to-back, best team in Europe right now. I think that this is a great matchup for both clubs. And like I said, it's great that Arsenal was able to go through this season, win the Premier League, have a week to prepare themselves. The morale, the team chemistry, everything is coming together at a good time. So we're looking at a great game of attacking football.
When it comes to Arsenal, I feel like there's the emotional support. This is a great year. By no means do I want to call it a Cinderella story. I don't think they were underdogs. But when it comes to PSG, there's a little bit more of a clinical side to their story. In that, since the modern era of Champions League, really Real Madrid has been the one to go back-to-back. And they're trying to join that company. That is rarefied air. What would it mean if they're able to go back-to-back?
Yeah, by no given cost, I think that will be very difficult. But if someone's going to do it, Luis Enrique is in the mind of him and what he did even in the last Champions League finals, winning 5-0, that is difficult. So I'm expecting to see some new things, maybe something a little bit genius. I know when they started the game last time, they kicked the ball out for a deep throw-in, and that was the tempo, and that was the start of something that he put into the game. So looking to see what kind of stuff he comes up in this match round.
We're going to talk a lot about the players, but let's have a moment here for the manager and Luis Enrique that you just mentioned, because he's also looking to join some elite company. His 2 Champions League titles. We know Carlo Ancelotti leads the way with 5, but then you also have Bob Paisley, Zinedine Zidane, and Pep Guardiola, who have 3. And all these coaches are pretty special in that Ancelotti has won his 5. He leads the way. over 2 decades. Bob Paisley, this was in the European Cup era. He was the first to win 3 with the same team. That was Liverpool. Then you have Zinedine Zidane, who was the first to win 3 straight. So they all kind of have their own little something when it comes to how special they are as managers in Champions League. But who would you say is the best?
Ancelotti has 5. Zinedine has 3 as a manager and a couple more as a player.
1,000 as a player.
No. So all due respect, I'm still going to go with Ancelotti and what he's done. 5 over 2 decades, that's a remarkable thing to talk about, and I'm going to keep it there.
Yeah, it's hard to be that good and that consistent over 2 decades, right?
Yeah, you think about motivation, you think about what keeps you driving and going forward, and I think to do that over 2 weeks, it's amazing.
All right, so who do you think is the greatest team of all time?
Arsenal.
You cannot say that. They have not won yet.
I think it's definitely Real Madrid.
Okay, Real Madrid. That is very true. Okay, let's have a little bit of fun. Let's get to a quiz, and I think I'm going to ask you these questions. Let me get to the rules here. We're going to call this "Don't Mess with Doneil." You're going to have 10 seconds to answer the question. If you pass, then you do not get to go back to the question. Okay? So that's kind of how that works. Please hold. Don't look at my papers. Okay? There's absolutely no cheating here. All right, Peter, you're going to come on in. We got Peter who's going to join us. Peter. All right, the first question is, who has won the Champions League the most? So do we have someone taking time here, or are you going to just rely on my counting? Okay, you ready? I'm going to flip the boards. This feels like Jeopardy. Who do you have, Doneil?
Real Madrid.
Real Madrid.
You are both correct. A point goes to each. Ding, ding. Number 2, who is the all-time goal scorer in Champions League history?
I think you're looking at my answer.
This is a well-known player. Well-known player. This is not like one of those weird trick questions. Who'd you put up there? Let me see. Okay. Which one?
Cristiano Ronaldo.
You're both right. Cristiano Ronaldo with 140 goals.
I'm making this easy for anybody.
I'm not trusting you. Okay, true or false? A goalkeeper has scored in a Champions League final. Do not worry about penmanship. Let's see what you've got.
I got true.
You're going to say true? What do you have? No. Doneil, it was true or false? But I'm going to take no as the false. Doneil is correct. Doneil is correct. We're still looking for a goalkeeper to score in the final. All right, name the only player to have won the UCL with 3 different clubs. You can just give me a last name if you want. 3 different clubs. Only player. Only player.
I don't think you'll get me.
No hints, no hints. You do not help. All right.
That's a lucky guess. I got Zidane.
Yeah. Zidane, it is not.
Ajax, Real Madrid, AC Milan. Once upon a time I thought.
You are correct. Clarence Seedorf.
Ancelotti was the coach.
All right. Okay, 4-2. Doneil's leading the way. What is the highest scoring Champions League final in history? I'll give you a bonus if you can also tell me what the score was. Highest scoring Champions League final in history.
Oh boy.
It's going to go back here a little bit here.
I was just going with the last.
Why don't you can ask a friend. You can ask somebody in the crowd. I don't know. Does anybody know it?
I don't think so.
I don't think. Does anyone know the highest scoring Champions League final in history? Anyone? No, it's too far back, ladies and gentlemen.
I said 8-2.
Okay, well, 7-3 was the final. It was, do you have it? Nope. Madrid, Frankfurt, 1960. Oh, my. Oh, my. I don't even think my parents met yet. Okay. It's England versus France today, but how many times has an English side faced a French side in the European Cup or Champions League final? So we're going to go pre and post Champions League era. Has a French and English side ever faced each other in a final before?
I forget.
1,
So we like
2.
pre or post?
It doesn't matter. It's how many times has an English and French side faced each other in a final in this competition? What are you going to say? You're going to say
I said
never?
once.
Doneil is right again. Never. Can you believe this is the first time those two nations are facing each other in a final? All right, the final we know this time around is in Budapest. Where was it last season? Where was it last year? They're inside Puskás Arena this time around. What do you have? I can't see. Is that what that says? Munich? Is that what that says? Did you get it? No? He's right, you're right. For a second there, I thought that said Milan, and I'm like, you are way off, my friend. Okay, the last time Arsenal, they were in the Champions League final, they lost 2-1 to Barcelona. Who scored Arsenal's goal?
He plays my position. If you know me, then you know.
So Doneil obviously knows the answer.
Yeah, I do know the answer. Who for Barcelona?
Let me say there's a soup. There's a soup that you can eat. His name is in a soup.
I don't know.
Campbell. So Campbell's trying to help you a little bit there.
New specialty, set piece specialist.
There you go. Okay, I think we have one more here. Paris also lost their first Champions League final. That was in 2020. To whom? A Canadian was on the team.
Bayern Munich.
There you go. I lost track of what the final score was, but I do believe Doneil won 7-3 or something. I think, Doneil, you win that one?
7-3.
I was sweating early, but you won.
That was a good one, Peter. That was good. That was fun. That was fun. So I'm always going to try and help you out and draw in a little bit of a Canadian connection. All right. So there we go. Let's get back to reminding you the odds here and how you can get involved. Sports Interaction. So the odds on your screen are brought to you by Sports Interaction, Canada's premier betting destination for the world's game. With Sports Interaction's 2-up early payout, get an instant payout if your team goes up by 2 goals. So you can scan the QR code on your screen to bet on the final. We are getting you set for this final that, yes, is in Budapest. It is Paris Saint-Germain, PSG, the defending champions, taking on Arsenal, who are just making their second appearance in this final and their first since 2006. Stay with us here on the DAZN Soccer Show.
Do you call it soccer, or do you call it football?
Really?
You're right, who gives a... It doesn't matter what you call it. 90 minutes is what matters. The odds matter. The next goal. The same game parlay. When you bet matters. Soccer or football? Move on. Because the beautiful game has a million shifting factors. Canada's premier betting destination for the world's game. Bet with Sports Interaction.
One of the most sensational champions we've ever seen inside the octagon.
But he is facing Justin Gaethje. He is a savage, and he doesn't run away from anything. He's moving up to fight Cyril Gane, the most athletic heavyweight in the game. This is not just mixed martial arts history. This is sports history.
Here we come, Washington, D.C.
The biggest night in club soccer is finally here. PSG is aiming to defend its UCL crown after storming to become European champion for the first time last season.
PSG have their hands on the trophy for the first time ever.
Standing in Paris's way, an Arsenal team seeking a first major European trophy. On May 30th, the European Cup final will be contested in Hungary for the first time. Budapest's Puskás Arena will play host to the showpiece event. Real Madrid's three-peat between 2016 and 2018 remains the only time in the Champions League era that a team has retained its title. So, can PSG emulate the competition's most successful team? The Parisians have undoubtedly been Europe's standout team in the past 2 seasons, blitzing past just about every opponent that's fallen in their path.
Will they strike in lethal fashion?
On the other side of the coin, Mikel Arteta's Arsenal has edged one step closer to glory each year. First reaching the quarterfinal stage in 2023-24 after a 5-season absence from Europe's top table. In 2024-25, the Gunners went one better and reached a first UCL semi-final in 16 years, only to be struck down by eventual winner PSG.
Ashraf Hakimi just may have sent Paris Saint-Germain into the Champions League final itself.
What better stage to claim revenge than the UCL final? Can Arsenal go all the way in 2026, or will it be another second-place finish for Arteta's man?
MLB Network streaming 24/7 on DAZN.
Home is where the heart is.
The ultimate destination for baseball fans, with everything from award-winning shows, live regular season games, to original programming from the best in the business.
I'm watching what could potentially be one of the greatest right-handed pitchers of all time. Cut to the chase. That wasn't just some fluke.
Everything you love about the game, all in one place. MLB Network on DAZN.
Do you call it soccer, or do you call it football?
Really?
You're right, who gives a... It doesn't matter what you call it. 90 minutes is what matters. The odds matter. The next goal. The same game parlay. When you bet matters. Soccer or football? Move on. Because the beautiful game has a million shifting factors. Canada's premier betting destination for the world's game. Bet with Sports Interaction.
Welcome back to DAZN Soccer Show's final countdown, brought to you by Sports Interaction. Yes, Canada's premier betting destination for the world's game. Everyone here is ready. By everyone, I mean all the Arsenal fans. Andy Petrillo alongside Doneil Henry. Kickoff between Paris Saint-Germain and Arsenal. It's getting really close now. The odds on your screen are brought to you by Sports Interaction, Canada's premier betting destination for the world's game, with over 150 markets and live same-game parlays, player props, real money, fantasy picks, and more. There are thousands of ways to bet. Scan the QR code on your screen and bet with Sports Interaction. Let's focus on Arsenal. Fans remember all too well the first and last time that they were in this tournament was 2006. 18-minute. Goalkeeper gets a red card. They're out. However, we know Arsenal still takes the lead in that one 1-0, ultimately losing 2-1 to Barcelona. Now, a lot of guys on this current team, they were like under the age of 10 when that happened. But as a fan, are you haunted by that?
I am not. I'm bringing fresh energy into this one. Like I said, the staff, the players, the supporters of the club, we just had probably the best week of our life. A lot of pressure off of the players, and now going forward, we are just ready to just see where this game can take us.
I do have to ask, though, from a personal standpoint, though, when we bring it to the Canadian side of it, I remember, so 2014, heading into that World Cup during qualification, Canada just needed that draw against Honduras. And I say just, I know it's easier said than done, but it ended up being an 8-1 defeat. And that was something that haunted the team moving forward. You weren't a part of 2014, but you know what it's like to be a player that's reminded of the ghosts from the past. How do you deal with that? If you all are also the current Arsenal team, you know everyone's talking about 2006, right?
100%. And they won't get away from it. I remember where I was when Canada lost 8-1. I was actually getting off of a flight before the game kickoff. We knew the lineups. We knew everything. We got on a flight. I was just coming from the U23 qualifying cycle with the national team. And
for the Olympics, right?
For the Olympics, correct. And coming off and hearing that scoreline and just feeling what the players felt and where Canada was going next. I feel you can just imagine what the Arsenal players are going into this game feeling. They've heard about the past, but definitely know that the future or today, they have a real chance to cement themselves in the history books.
Even though they weren't part of it, maybe some of them weren't born, yeah, they probably do feel that pressure to exorcise some demons. But that 2006 team was wicked, Danielle. They were such a good team. If you were to compare that, I hate doing this a little bit, but if you were to compare that team to this team, who you got?
I'm going with this team.
You're going with this team?
I'm going with
2026?
This team. Yeah.
You're sticking with the present?
Yeah, I know. That team did not lose a game. I think they had one tie, if I'm not mistaken. But to see what Arteta has done and transformed this team, you see a young Max Dowman who is the youngest Premier League winner, potentially could be the youngest Champions League winner today. I think that what they've done, the depth of the squad, this team camaraderie, today is the day that Arsenal definitely makes a more hit for themselves.
But this is why we also love finals, by the way, because it doesn't matter if you've gone undefeated. You mentioned in 2006 they only had the one draw. This time around as well, Arsenal undefeated. And we've also seen Leeds go bye-bye as well. Big one for us in our household, obviously, was AC Milan back in 2005. When that happened, that was a 3-0 lead that went the way of the Dodo Bird. Let's take a look at some comparisons. So we got Lehman, there was the goalkeeper in 2006. Raya today. Who are you taking?
I'm taking my old teammate at Blackburn, David Raya. So,
okay.
Yes.
Sol Campbell or William Saliba?
I'm going with William Saliba.
Fabregas, Declan Rice?
I'm going with my old teammate, Declan Rice.
Look at you. Okay, you got Robert or Saka?
I'm going with Saka.
Thierry Henry, or should we even bother comparing him to anybody else? If Thierry's watching too, he'd probably be very offended.
I'm going with the king because I grew up for the longest time thinking that my last name came from him and we were related.
Is that you told everybody you're related? I told everyone that I was related to Sophia Petrillo on the Golden Girls. Okay, what about Kai Havertz, though? When you look at Thierry Henry, are you looking at Havertz or Gyökeres? Remember, it's Havertz who's getting the start today.
Correct. I definitely think I wasn't expecting this, but I understand it from... He knows the moment. He's been massive for Arsenal this season, and some of the goals he's contributed late on, and making sure that we can solidify the Premier League. But I know that you can tell that Arteta has the trust from his players because he could have lost Gyökeres after what he's done in his opening season. But no, I think that both strikers are going to play pivotal points today. But today, Kai Havertz has the start, and we have to go with it.
And this is the sword you live and die by as a manager, are these types of big decisions, because you can look like an absolute genius. Not that I'm saying it's like a big gap between Havertz and Gyökeres, but still, it is a bit of a shock to some people. So when you're Mikel Arteta, just given what he's done even this year, we know that he pushed for the club to make some big moves, big transactions in the off-season to do what he has now done, which is win the league title. This is going to be the next step. This is the next check mark that he wants on his resume. And if he gets it right, are we building a statue?
Maybe a little bit too early for a statue, but I think that he's done it his way and he's been amazing. So I'm 100% on board with the Arteta project.
All right, so that's Arsenal. Let's take a look at their opponent, the defending champions. Of course, that is PSG. They have so much pace, and they score a ridiculous amount of goals. Is there a weakness, though, that Arsenal can exploit with them?
We're going to have to try and hit them on the counterattack and transition football. They push a lot of numbers going forward. And if Hakimi steps into that midfield and starts sliding up the pitch, if we're able to transition down that side, we'll definitely have opportunities.
So this is another big question, too, when it comes to players who are like, I'm fit. Dembele, this is somebody we were talking about. Have you ever declared yourself fit when you weren't? Have you ever declared yourself fit when maybe you weren't? Because this is a final and you want to be in it.
And you just said it. It's a final. So I think that everybody's, even if they're feeling little niggles, as professionals, you feel niggles every single day. But I don't see one player opting out of this match today.
Here's just quickly, because I know we were talking about this before we even went to air. This is a little bit different in that there's a World Cup just around the corner. How does that mess a little bit with a player's mind when this is big, you want to focus on the here and now, but you also just don't want to get injured?
Yeah, you've been hearing it over the last few months, how many players we're expecting or anticipating to see in this World Cup who will no longer be a part of it. So in the back of their mind, of course, you're thinking, I don't want to get hurt. It's not the right mentality. So for me, if I'm thinking about Dembele coming in 70% fit, Ballon d'Or winner, you have to have it in the back of the mind, but like I said, his mentality has been bulletproof, and he's been a great advocate for this club, changing everything since being at Barcelona under Luis Enriquez. He's been fantastic, so looking to see what he gets done today.
Knockout phase, I mean, PSG is so strong. Kvaratskhelia, we know, has led the way with his 6 goals. Then you look at their youth as well, and Doué, 20, DAZN Emery, 20, Neves, 21. How do they make their mark here? How do they be effective?
By winning. I think that this is a team that understands that, yeah, they have the quality, but they're willing to do all the running of that this game demands, doing some of the dirty work that this game demands. Like I said, a lot of credit to the manager Luis Enriquez in getting this team and transforming this team since Mbappe has left. So for me, it's going to be a very, very fun, high energy attacking match.
Lots of trust for the young players too, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, at some point, I guess you got to do that. Okay. This is always the fun part when I ask my analysts for a prediction.
It's going to be a low-scoring game. I know that. I think
you know
it might.
PSG in the final. Okay.
Yeah, but this is Arsenal. This is going to be the best attack in the world versus the best defense in the world. So if you're asking me, it's going to be maybe a 2-1 game.
2-1 game?
Arsenal.
2-1 game, Arsenal. Okay, so that's great that you gave that prediction, but I'm going to go to my trusty video here to tell me who's actually going to win today's game. Okay. Yes, that's right. There is a blue marble. You know who that represents. There's the red marble. Look at this.
Get on your horse, Arsenal.
Oh, PSG's taking the early lead. Oh, and he just cut off Arsenal, too. Right in front. PSG's still holding on.
Strategic foul, strategic foul, strategic foul. We need a set piece.
Oh, that was interference. Who was that? Was that the ref who got in the way of Arsenal?
Big tackle from Saliba.
Oh, this is all PSG
This is a one-way ball. Oh, no.
Look at this. This is just a long ball and a
Please tell me
breakaway
that
now.
Arsenal didn't go in for halftime yet.
I don't know what's happening, but this looks like PSG's going to take it. Oh,
Arsenal enters the race.
Arsenal comes on in.
Get in there.
This is mesmerizing. Absolutely. No.
Get
yes.
in there.
No.
Arsenal.
No.
Arsenal. Oh, it's not done. It's not done. That's only halftime. There we go.
Oh, that was just the first half.
We're still trailing. This is pressure. This is massive pressure for Arsenal. Still in the race, though.
PSG just runs away with that. But then Arsenal kind of is sneaky. Maybe it's that last-ditch set piece, you know?
Put in your Chris.
Oh.
Put in your Chris now.
That was a tackle.
Madueke. There we go. Oh, they're back in charge.
Oh, dear.
This is not done.
What is happening?
Get in, Arsenal.
Oh, no.
We win.
Oh,
we win our first Champions League finals.
Well, if you didn't know, now you know. Arsenal are going to be crowned the marble champions of Champions League.
That was entertaining. I love that.
That was highly entertaining. I do love the animals when they have the animals pick, but that's a close second there. All right, we've gone through the odds. We had a fun little trivia, which you did very well in. This place is absolutely packed, and we are getting set for a brilliant final. And if you were watching the quiz, you know it's the first time ever a French side is taking on an English side. Can PSG join some rarefied air by winning the Champions League back-to-back, or can Arsenal continue this incredible story of winning a Champions League along with the league title? Doneil, it has been absolutely great working alongside you. We've got the game coming up.